His Spaz.
Hey, what?
Guess what?
Quack?
We got some sweet new digs in the background. Not those. The background. Damn it, Spaz. What is going on, everyone? Welcome into the Oregon Ducks live show right here on the Voice of College Football. The busy day today. But first and foremost, how are you doing, Spaz?
I'm doing good, man. Just hanging out, enjoying life.
Enjoying life or trying to?
Trying to.
There we go. Okay. I'll accept that. So look, and the great thing here, like I told you earlier, Spaz, now you don't have to figure out how to tell people where to follow you at.
Yeah, right there.
So natural now. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we need to talk about a few things. I know a lot of people have covered it, but there's been new news that have come out today, Spaz. So I want to get into that, and I think it's important because, as the show is titled, is NIL ruining college football? And I get it. A lot of people would argue with that. Is it? Is it not? I think it's something fair to get into a little bit with this news this week.
Yeah.
So everyone's who hasn't lived under a rock knows, Mr. Nico Olivia. I love that pun online. That was a good one. Olivia left Tennessee after a contract dispute, basically, where he wanted, instead of $2 million, he wanted $4 million, supposedly, for a new NIL deal. It's. I think the whole point is everyone said this is literally the first, basically professional holdout almost at the college level for a contract. But what's weirder was later on you learned this wasn't just a couple spring practices. His team, we'll call his team, meaning his family and agent, apparently tried to hold out and skip playoff practices for a contract.
Yeah, there was rumor that there's a few, not just him, but some others too in the playoff last year that were apparently threatening or whatnot.
Again, is that not wild? I mean, you weren't talking like some little bowl game where you saw how good I did this year. It was just like the defense let us down. I'm sorry, Nico is mid at best. He's still a young quarterback, but he was not anything special.
Yeah, he's definitely mid.
Like, he had a great deep ball, but he couldn't throw anything to hit the side of the barn within 10 to 15 yards.
Yeah.
But so anyways.
Now, the rumor is he signed for less than 1.5.
That's the other part of this I want to get into, because with all this coming down with spring ball, and he was like, hey, I want this contract. So he sat out a meeting. Again, was this Nico's decision, or was this like his team, his camp, so to say, like more like his family, maybe? I mean, there's a lot to think about when it comes to this, but I have to applaud Tennessee, like a lot of people had, and Josh Heupel to go, bye. Like, we're just not doing this. And just shut it down. And especially now hearing that this was potentially happening during a playoff run, like before Ohio State game, it speaks more volumes as to why he was like, we're not doing this. Like, you tried this once before. Nah, goodbye. Get out. I think that has to set a precedence. One, obviously, for the first time, the coach, at least knowingly that we know of, a coach said, "I'm not even playing these games. Goodbye." Walk. That's fine. Or caving to give you more money. So I have to applaud Heupel for saying, "I'm not playing this game. You signed this contract, this deal, this NIL. You got to stick with it."
Yeah,
You want
exactly.
more money, go get advertisements and everything else on the other and every other avenues that you can use, but you're not going to ask it from us.
Well, and like was also said in one of the other groups I was in the other day, uh, Tennessee people, and they were saying, before a year and a half ago, Nico and them had never left the state of California, really. So it was their first time ever coming to Tennessee. And they just took the first plane and jumped in it. And now they're backspinning and wanting to go home.
And
But
that
but also according to other sources, it was stated the other day that it was more. There's more to the story than people know.
I'm sure there is. That's why, like, especially just for instance, like later on came out about the whole potential playoff holdout part of it too, which also just adds to it. But I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's more to it than just that, even. But and that's why it was funny because, of course, the first thing, which I still don't have confirmation on, I don't think anyone really does, is that Nico's team reached out to Oregon, and Dan Lanning's the one who's like, "Nah, we're good," and then called Josh Heupel to let him know.
Yeah, that's coming straight from a lot of Tennessee sources.
It's not
That had
confirmed that I'm aware of at all, but
no, but if you ask a lot of the Tennessee pundits, there's a lot of smoke behind that. That basically a few weeks ago, he started reaching out again, and the rumor is that Dan Lanning basically called Josh Heupel and said, "Just thought it'd be respectful to let you know that your boy is out here trying to get a new deal."
yeah. Which again, I can respect that on, like I said, what how Josh Heupel handled it. I can respect Dan Lanning doing that, and I mean, again, Oregon was in the mix a little bit for Nico during his recruiting process.
Correct. He was one of the
Tennessee,
final four. We were
Tennessee
one of the
just came
final
out.
four.
Yeah, Tennessee just came out with that huge NIL deal, kind of last second to to swoo him, so to say. So I'm not surprised that he would maybe call Oregon first, but USC was heavily allegedly in the running. Obviously, UCLA. There was even talk of Tulane, North Carolina, and there was a couple other ones. I'm sure that were heavily in
There
the
was
running.
6 schools at the end, I believe. It was Oregon, USC, UCLA, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Missouri.
Was it Missouri? Really?
Yeah, I believe Missouri was one of the final 6 or 8 schools, somewhere in
Oh
that.
well. I mean, right now when he left.
No. But this was during his recruiting.
Oh, okay.
Out of high school. The final 6, I believe, were a mixture of North Carolina and Tulane and Missouri, along with all the West Coast schools.
Okay. Well, it's funny because as soon as it came out, Oregon immediately was like, nope, we're good. No, thank you. When you left, USC was like, nah, we're all right too. Then North Carolina, everyone's like, North Carolina. And Bill Belichick's like, nah, I'm good. Thank you. Even Tulane said no.
Yeah.
Even Tulane said no. And
So
then there was,
UCLA's in his backyard. It's where they're from. It makes sense.
yeah, but as of today,
And obviously, if he quote unquote comes home, the money doesn't have to be as high in theory, because he doesn't have to, get family and friends, halfway across the country or anything like that. Everybody's already there. So all that kind of money that you may or may not need to like bring family and friends and others maybe out to see a game or this or that is null and void now, because most of the people he surrounded are right there.
and that's true. I mean, and that was a great conversation I heard from a couple different podcasts earlier too about that. Was the thought was, what is his NFL expectation? Because he already asked for this high NIL deal, he got it, then he tried to double it. Is he planning on going to the NFL after one more like decent season, or is he trying to cash in for 2 more years in case he doesn't make it, or not even want to go to the NFL? So he wants to rake in as much as he can right now. It was an interesting theory, kind of side process thought. I mean, I don't know what his motivations are entirely, so I'm not going to speak to those. But
most people are saying now he's going to have to finish his college in order to get that, to get to that next level, because of several things. His development, he's going to have to improve his image now. All those different things, whether it be him or his family or whoever, his image has taken a hit because of this.
oh, definitely. And again, also like you say,
So
his
he's
family,
gonna
the
have to,
baggage, the potential baggage that he brings along with it.
right. He's going to have to do more now to get back up there. Because if he was here a week ago, now he's probably here. So in order to get to here, he's going to have to do 3 times the amount of work.
Oh, oh, oh! He froze like midair. I loved it. Screenshot it. He's going to have to do more work, though. He's going to have to rebuild a bunch of stuff and show himself. That's why there was a talk about going to like a Tulane potentially, because he could work or any other type of school, maybe in California, even have an amazing year and then go back to the Power Four. Like kind of show himself. But that was why you said when you brought up like California, of course, where he's in the area he's from, USC said no. UCLA was very interested. And then as of earlier today, at least when I was hearing it by about noon Central, he turned down UCLA. That was the report. Nico turned UCLA down. Potentially because of the money. But you calm down. You calm down over here. I see what you're trying to do. But then, as of a couple hours ago, there is the report that Nico has committed to UCLA. Now, what does that involve? I don't know. Could it be that he turned him down and they raised the money a little bit quickly? Or was it just a bad report? I don't know. But this is the report going around from everyone.
Ooh, did you hear the breaking news?
It depends on if we're on topic or if we're going to jump to a different topic completely.
No,
Screw up this whole
yeah.
section from my editing later on.
I don't know what's going. I mean, there's still conflicting reports, but from what I'm hearing, is he's agreed, but who knows until we see
Like an official signing of some sort.
Yeah.
Because again, I heard they offered, he said no. Then it's now out everywhere that he said yes. Why? I don't know. Maybe again, like I said, maybe they bumped up a little money extra. I have no idea. So couldn't tell you. But apparently he's going to UCLA, which was one of the top 3 to 4 projected locations. So apparently. We'll leave it at that, I guess, for now. Because we'll see. But yeah, he's not making he wasn't making the $2 million that he was making in Tennessee, more than likely, let alone the 3.5 to 4 he wanted. I'm sure of that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
One of the funniest things too was I saw when they said this, one of the comments in one of these posts for committed to UCLA, he's like, man, he's gonna be shell shocked when he goes to play a game day and looks around, there's 20 people in the stands.
Right?
Help me. I see you, Frankeny. I see Jackson was in here too. Obviously, dry toast earlier. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. So, I guess the question is then, just quickly, Spaz, is this a one-off in the sense of the NIL world of a player like Nico here, or is this going to become much more common?
I think you could see a lot of this kind of stuff happening, and that's the problem. Then part of the way the committee and the NCAA have curbed this from happening even more than it has is the fact of, okay, if you're going to jump, you cannot jump within your conference. You can't jump over here to stab this guy in the back. We ain't having that.
Yeah, and when the SEC already has that rule about you can't transfer to your own conference in the spring portal. December window is open wide, apparently. That the December window doesn't matter. Spring portal, you cannot do that. That was agreed upon by every team in the SEC. Cannot do it.
Right, exactly.
So, but of course, this is SEC to Big Ten. But I'm kind of with you. I think we are going to see a little bit more of this. I don't think, I hope not that it's not going to become common.
I don't think it'll be super common because, I mean,
this was a
they're
starting
saying this isn't
quarterback
about money, but yet it is.
Yeah, this was a starting quarterback at Tennessee who just went to the playoffs last year. That's rare.
I mean, okay, if Will Howard was back at Ohio State this year, and let's say they brought in a new offensive coordinator or something along those lines, and he didn't like that, do you think he's going to jump? No, I'm just going to enter the portal because you won't give me more money because I just won you a natty. But now I want more money. Do you think he's going to do that, or a lot of guys are going to do that? Probably not. And if they do, if the money becomes the situation, then you know where their real football heads are in theory.
I understand that too, where that's kind of where I go, was it like he really wanted to be at Tennessee? Because I'd heard a lot of things about them saying later when he'd really committed to UCLA, it's because he wanted to change the offense. to play in the Heupel system anymore.
Correct.
But that seems like a scapegoat after they've done this a couple times for money, apparently.
And they went and brought in a bigger offensive line and got some transfers as well for their O-line this year.
It seems like an exaggerated excuse, kind of to back him up. But the Will Howard example is interesting. So, one, I don't even think Will Howard was probably getting $2 million to go to Ohio State. I have no idea what Will Howard's NIL was, but I don't even know if it was Nico's at Tennessee. Now, if Will Howard came back and they were like, well, we changed OCs, like not Heartline, but went somewhere else, I think Will Howard, at least if he said, hey, I'll stay, but I'd like a little bit more money, and they wanted him to stay, I think they would pony it up because he just won you a national fucking title.
Right.
You know, so.
But here you got this kid over here who's like got you to the playoffs, but couldn't get you any further, and now he's demanding he wants more money than probably anybody in college football.
Double the money allegedly, and yeah, I definitely think it would be one of the higher paid. And as people said, he saw what someone like Carson Beck was going to Miami and allegedly getting paid. I think a lot of people don't believe that's actually the number of like $3.5 million. I think a lot of people think that's a exaggerated number, but
smokescreen number, yeah,
some sort of exaggerated, just whatever type of number. But so he was like, well, that doesn't seem right. I should be getting more money then. But
well, like last year, you had everybody go, oh, look, Oregon over here spending $40 million on. No, nobody's spending that kind of money.
God, I hope
USC's paying $35 million to these guys. You know,
if someone's paying $40 million, they better not be losing to Michigan 13-10.
Right, exactly. What'd you think of that on Bussing with the Boys yesterday?
Oh yeah, I told you that I was watching that yesterday. I was literally listening to it. That was a great interview with them.
That was hilarious as shit. I couldn't believe they went from that Roco spot.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
They're like, did you see that spot they pulled Dan into after the Roco commercial?
I think I stopped before that.
Oh my God! You know there's the drug that helps you get it up.
Yeah. No, I saw that. I saw that part of it, but I didn't see the part where I think I stopped. I think I paused. I was doing something else. So I was trying to pay attention.
God! So they do their promo spot for that, and then they come up with the 3 something and others that they do after every time they play that commercial. The 3 ways of getting it up or whatever. And they hooked Dan into it. I was fucking dying hysterically laughing.
Well, he had a good one. He had a good one. He's like, number one, he's like, when I was a waiter, Sophia was a server or waitress. I'd leave her love notes. Be like, meet me at the popcorn machine or whatever it was at 6 p.m. sharp.
The bread oven.
The bread oven there was. I was like, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good interview because Dan Lanning broke down a lot of his thoughts, ideas, learning experiences, even more than we've heard before, a little bit in different ways.
Oh, and he ain't sleeping on Ohio State anymore. He hasn't slept a wink since January.
He says, I wake up thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, and like he said also, he goes, people have said I can't win the big game. Yeah. He won the Big Ten title first year, went undefeated. But now the question is again, can he win the big game? He's got into the playoffs and went.
He's in that Ryan Day zone before Ryan Day won the title, where it's like Ryan Day wins everything, and Ryan Day win the big one. He's now entered that tier almost.
Yeah.
Because notice when they asked that question, it wasn't about the Big Ten. was, can you win the game? He's like, well, we beat Washington finally this year. So we got over that hump, you know. That was actually his main focal point, was like, we beat our rival finally.
Yep.
To propel ourselves. He didn't even talk about like a. Then I mean, of course, he said like, then now what do we do to get the title, basically, and like how to prepare for it, and explaining like we did the best we could. We thought we did everything right. Now you just learn from it and you move on, and you have to learn to prepare differently.
Yeah.
Which I thought was I mean, very coach answer, obviously.
I think our defense is going to be better equipped for that kind of situation this year. I feel.
Well, we're going to see. It's a whole different schedule this year, obviously.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a cakewalk than last year was.
It is, but there's different, much different road atmospheres get to deal with this year. So
there's one big one in particular, and that's the doozy.
Iowa. Rutgers?
It's not Michigan and it's not Ohio State. Oh, wait, we won both of those places.
Oh, we didn't play at Ohio State this year, but last year, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I know Penn State. Beaver Stadium. Yes. We all know that's the 50-50 game for sure.
Wide out.
You know it's going to be a big noon kickoff.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be. We're going to get stuck with that crap.
I think it'll be a whiteout at night.
If Washington got one, we should get it too.
Yeah.
Hopefully we just don't get drubbed like Washington did.
Yeah.
Well, Spaz, let's touch upon this really quickly. There isn't a whole lot going on right this moment, but there were two big updates coming up because two of the biggest targets for Oregon are coming up soon, and both of them should be at the spring game here in just over a week.
That's right.
Mr. Big Ass Cantwell for the offensive line and Jared Curtis should both be attending the spring game, with, oddly enough, Cantwell then declaring or giving his commitment 4 days later, and Jared Curtis then on May 5th.
And there's a third to that mix as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the other offensive lineman, Achialamo or whatever.
Oh, the Maryland guy, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
the kid from Maryland. Yeah, I know. I'm going to butcher his name. I swear.
Me too. That's why I was like,
if I don't read it, I'm going to butcher that thing. I know who you're talking about, though. Yes.
Yeah, they're all three going to be at the spring game Saturday.
Oh, okay. I'd see. I did not hear he was going to be there also. So that's actually really good then, because people have said Oregon could land both of them, but they feel they definitely can get at least one.
Well, and Cody Green, there's a lot of speculation that Cody Green could flip to USC. There's been a lot of traction on that lately. And in the circles that I've been around on X and other places, it's very possible that Oregon could get all three of those linemen, because we already got Cody Green committed.
Yeah.
But people are stating that it looks like Cody could end up flipping. Not that he is, but he could. And that's why they want the other two in, because if you can get two of the three, that's two of the three top 6 talent in the 26 class.
Well, exactly. You land all three. That's ridiculous. But that's why I say at least we know we should get one, but likely maybe two. But the other prize, again, like you say, they're keeping their options available, just like Jared Curtis. Now, the good thing with Cantwell, the big O lineman from Missouri, he said he's not going to Missouri. Even though he's
Right.
from Missouri and his dad played at Missouri, he's not going to Missouri. He's already said it. He didn't go to Miami, apparently. Something happened and he didn't get to the Miami trip, apparently. And again, we're his final visit before he declares 4 days later. But he already says he knows where he's going. Apparently, that's what he's been preaching. He knows everything he needs to know. And Jared Curtis, we know, is only between Oregon and Georgia. And he didn't make it to the Georgia, their little showing, festival, showing, whatever they had. He didn't make it there for, I think they said it was prom or something like that, or something like that, or I don't remember what it was. It was something else that he couldn't make it, but he'll be at Oregon. Then he's gonna May 5th classify. But with Jared Curtis, if they don't land him, they're still in a strong suit for Rider Lions. So, and Rider Lions was just
this weekend.
He was, yeah, I think he's still there. He's been posting for like the last day or two.
Yeah, he's been in Eugene for a couple of days.
So, but obviously with Rider Lions, there's USC, BYU, and there's another strong contender school. Michigan's been in the loop a little bit also for Rider Lions. So, a little more competition for him. There's the recruiting updates. Fantastic.
So, are we on the breaking news yet? Oh.
What do you want to be the breaking news? I might have a tab for that. What are you going to consider the breaking news?
Well, there's 2 pieces.
Oh, in depth.
There's Roderick Pleasant.
Okay, here we go. Let's just get right into this because I was like, I might have a tab for that because the chaos of the spring portal has opened today. I do have a tab for it. I told you.
But as Dan Lanning reported yesterday, we have not lost one starter rep to the portal yet.
And that's the big one. I was going to pull this up really quickly because there it is. I told you I had it ready to go. This is right now the only Oregon transfer that has left the team, like in the spring portal so far. And Roderick Pleasant, very talented of the 2023 class. Been there a couple years, never broken into the rotation heavily. Let's put it that way. And obviously they just loaded up this year with DBs. So I think he kind of saw the writing on the wall. So good luck to Roderick Pleasant. But as of right now, that's the only decommit transfer out of Oregon right now. As of today, I just refreshed 247 a few minutes ago. And as long as they're still updating it, until tomorrow morning, there won't be another one. So that's not bad. That is not bad. The other one, though, Spaz. Besides Nico, who was the other major transfer that we know a little bit of something about?
Oh, that wasn't where I was going. I don't know then.
No, you don't know?
Maybe not. Oh, the Rutgers receiver? Oh, that too.
Jaden Ott from we know a little something about Jaden Ott. he ran a little wild.
We can go to the Calgary. The Calgorithm has died.
Yes, the Calgorithm is dead. The Calgorithm is dead. Cal lost 5 running backs today.
5
running backs.
2 days. Their only running back they have left is a true freshman. That's it.
I posted back to someone when they said the Calgorithm died. I was like, yeah, it was fun while it lasted, though.
Yeah, the algorithm has died. Rest in peace, Cal. Way to go, Justin Wilcox. Thank you, God, that he did not get hired at Oregon.
I swear, I might have boycotted that season. Yeah, Jaden out though, which is the saddest.
Great hire, Justin Wilcox and Brian Harline. Yeah,
I think there was also something to it, more of with Jay Knott was he didn't have a great season last year, and that was their first year in the ACC. So I think maybe he's like, you know what, I'm going to get out of here and have a fresh start, because he didn't have a really great season last year like he had the year before. So I don't know, something about that. But the saddest part was, and Cal fans have been melting about it, is that they had a signed helmet from him that said, "I ain't leaving," and he signed it himself with that. And then they're like, he signed this 2 days before he transferred.
Yeah.
Like, way to break some hearts, Jaden. Wilcox sucks. I love him, but man, he's oh Lord. Rip Calgary. Rip. And I think the receiver you were talking about is I don't have it up. It's Pena from Syracuse.
Yes.
Who was the was he the leading or second leading receiver for Syracuse last year?
I believe second leading.
900 something yards on like 9 touchdowns. I think it was.
Yeah.
And everyone online, as soon as it was posted from Oregon, were like, we don't need him. And I was like, we did just take their wide receiver coach. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. I understand the sentiment of like, let the young guys play finally. Don't take another transfer wide receiver. But does he have 1 or 2 years eligibility left?
I'm not sure.
For Pena, why is it not telling me anything? Okay, yeah. So he had 941 yards, 9 touchdowns, 11.2 yards average. Says he's a junior, so I guess he would have technically 2 years of eligibility. 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, 3. How many games played though? He'd either have 1 or 2. Yeah, either this or 1 more. It doesn't tell me right here if he redshirted specifically. Either way, though, hey, we would take him if we needed. Shit, why not?
There's a quote from Brand Miller. You're going to make $2 million at wide receiver. That's the homie at Ohio State. I'm not giving no receiver $2 million in college.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Crazy. That's quarterback money. Yeah, there's been some interesting transfers, but I think most people are not surprised by most of the transfers at this point, because most of the transfers were people that weren't they weren't going to win a job. You know, they were like third string, probably, where they figured we're not going to have a role, pretty much.
Yeah. So you've technically lost 2 so far with the running back that nobody even knows.
Yeah, again, not. I mean, it sucks to lose any player, but nothing crazy. The real question will come down to be quarterback, because I heard an interesting thing that some people projected Luke Moga would leave.
Yeah, well, you got 2 more days to see.
Oh, we have more than that.
Portal's only open for 3 days.
No, 25th.
Oh, that's right. It's open for 10 days. My bad.
I was
Yeah,
like,
it
no,
closes
25th.
next Friday.
And then with Oregon, because the game's the 26th, some people pointed out that there's probably a waiver to have a couple extra days after that because the fact the spring game falls after the portal closes.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
There's probably a waiver or an extension for them.
Right. You
Uh-oh.
could fill out the paperwork, but not file it till Monday if need be.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I'm not in depth with that. That's a whole recruiting thing. Okay, I was about to say I broke 247 because it stopped updating and stopped updating the page. It just sat there spinning like loading.
So have you heard the actual breaking news in the last couple of hours?
I'm going to say no.
You don't have any other tabs, do you?
Are you testing me right now?
Yeah, I'm testing you to see if you got any other tabs up.
No, I don't.
This in from the University of Oregon, we have breaking news.
Oh, shit. Hold on. We're full screen. Your ass. Let's go.
The University of Oregon has filed a lawsuit today against former Oregon running backs coach Carlos Lachlan, allegedly he violated his contract by going to OSU in 2024, days after signing a new agreement to continue to be the running backs coach at Oregon. Lachlan's lawyer argues he terminated the contract and proposed a complete buyout to Oregon, which they then declined.
Interesting. Obviously, there's a lot to that. Obviously, it's about money. It's not about him per se. It's about the contract and the money.
And people are putting up memes that, oh, he owes us money.
Yeah, again, something I don't like to get into is like contract details. But yeah, if you just signed an agreement or extension and then you go to another team, they'll have to pay a buyout. So if they offered it and you declined it, did they really offer it to you, or do they offer you like a portion of it or something like that? Going, it's a brand new contract or whatever. He's not coaching right now. And like, yeah, there's a lot more to that, but yeah. Let me see if I can find one of those memes. That would be great. I'm getting
Yeah,
sad.
Busting with the Boys had a nice dinner at Dan's house and everything.
Oh yeah. It was a long ass segment, and then they were doing what they were still going to put out one with Mariota because Mariota showed up.
Yeah,
I don't think they've released it. I haven't seen it anyways. They were going to release the meeting with Mariota. Oh, well, there it is. I just saw the one Fran Brown saying, "I'm not giving no wide receiver $2 million." Are you speak and it appears you're insane. How do you do this? Where is it? There it is. Pay up, Carlos.
yeah.
That's funny. And then there's, I'm not giving no wide receiver $2 million. Oh
Right?
man. And $2 million for a wide receiver. I'm sorry, you're not no I mean, Pena's good. Not that good. What would you say? He's like 750? 600, 750, somewhere in that range, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say that'd be, I think, reasonable. I mean, I'm not sure what the going rate for a wide receiver is in CFP right now, but
Frankie, if you're in here, which sounds like you are, go to Twitter or YouTube actually, and follow Bussin' with the Boys. And in there, Marcus Mariota came back to Eugene last week as well when Will Compton and son of a bitch, what's his name? Taylor Lewan
yep.
Came with their show to Eugene, spent a couple days in Eugene, and they have some clips of them hanging out at Dan's house. They had a barbecue, hanging out with Marcus Mariota, who was there to work with some of the guys for a minute and hang out. Yeah, there it is right there. Check those guys out. They got some great content, great interview with Dan. It was about 30 minutes?
Oh yeah, it was I have it still open. It was, oh God, I think it was longer than 30 minutes.
I don't know. It was like the hour 12 mark, hour and 12-minute.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like an hour long. And that
then
that's probably cut down a little bit even. They probably chopped little segments out of that.
Yeah. But they
It was a
talked
long
to Dan
interview
for a while. It was great.
Yeah, so definitely go check out Bustle Boys. Plus, they're doing a whole spring game, spring ball kind of like tour.
I believe they're going to be here next Saturday.
Are they? I wouldn't be surprised they were here for the Ohio State game. I know after Oregon they were going to Michigan. To do, I think it was Michigan they were going to go.
They were here at the Ohio State game last year. I would guess they'll either be at Penn State or at the USC game in November.
Yeah, but they're all over the place right now during spring ball and talking to coaches, players, getting in the gym, even on the practice field a little bit as much as they can if they're allowed to or if the team's practicing. So pretty fun.
They went out with the team in practice the other day.
So yeah, it's fun. It's a good inside look at the programs, kind of behind the scenes a little more than you
as
would.
Much as Dan will give us.
Yeah, well, and each program is a little different. Sorry, program is a little different, but yeah, it's pretty accessible. It seems. So.
Yeah, but he don't give you.
He ain't showing you. No, is that dinner? Is that a late dinner coming in?
No. Munchies.
Munchies. It's a post dinner snack.
Uh-huh.
Jesus. Do you have any other tabs, Spaz?
No, about it for me.
That's about it for me too. But I am excited because in 12, 13, whatever, 12, 13 days, but April 26th, Oregon Ducks spring game. We might get to see a little more to more connection. Maybe a little Novosad to more connection.
Hopefully I'll be able to get on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we're going to try to do anything live after, or if we'll just wait till later that day or something like that. We'll have to see how that goes with the spring game thing.
I need an iPhone. I think iPhones get better.
It just depends on the area. It's not so much the phone; it's the area. I've been in dead spots many times.
Yep. 10 days, Frankie, you're right.
How dare you ignore Jackson?
Oh, chocolate chip cookies.
I'm glad I thought about that again because I thought you said taco chip cookies. I was like, what the fuck is a taco chip cookie? I was like, what type of weird shit are you making over there?
Yeah, right.
Actually, that sounds kind of good. It's like one of those chocolate ice cream tacos.
So, yeah, I'm really hoping. How do we go about creating some funding?
Seems like an offline conversation.
Yeah.
Which we'll have to get into, especially this coming up during the off season. But this is an offline conversation.
Well, July's coming. Big Ten Media Days are right down the road from me. So, yeah.
That's true. Well, again, we'll definitely have to talk about that coming up very quickly. Which actually it's a good thing because next week we're going to try.
Oh, there we go, Jackson. With the $2 chat. There you go.
Yep, that's going to get him all the way to Las Vegas. It's done. Book your tickets, Spaz.
I'm only $998 away now, Jackson.
Book your tickets. Now we'll definitely look more heavily into that. And like I said, we're gonna work on some things around this channel. As you see, this great backdrop that's been made. I have to assume it's by TJ. Could be wrong. Apologize. But here's our new backdrop. So that's really cool. So we're also going to work on upgrading some other things. But like thinking next week before the spring game on Wednesday night, we hope to have a couple special guests that a lot of people around here will recognize, but are very knowledgeable about Oregon in the sense of the team and the recruiting. So
exactly.
We'll have a lot to hopefully talk about.
Oh,
okay. Hey, that works. Hey, good job, intern.
yeah.
That works for us. So I think we'll just wrap it then here tonight. And we'll come back next Wednesday. Again, hopefully with a couple very knowledgeable guests. We'll have a nice
And
little.
if not, we have a third backup guest that everybody knows on the Voice of College Football that would very much come in and give you some Italian jiu-jitsu.
It's true. That is true. We could definitely
He's
get
always
him.
available.
Yeah, we could definitely get him in here. I know who you're talking about. So I think we'll wrap it for tonight. But hopefully we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Same time, same place, right here. So that's why it's important to hit that like.
By the way, I want a t-shirt. I want a t-shirt. Your job is to buy me a t-shirt. You didn't take me to the concert, so I want a t-shirt. You know who you are.
It's talking to the chat. Don't worry. No, everyone in the chat is going, what? It's not me.
No, there's one particular person in the chat that knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I know who it is.
If she's still there.
So, all right, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Spaz, do you want to show your fancy technique and how to show people where they can follow you if they want to?
Yeah, it's right there.
So, you did so good earlier. What happened? Never mind.
And Ben's right there. Somewhere over there.
It's damn it. It's right there.
Yes.
So close. So close.
That is hilarious.
So close. All right, everyone. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, with a couple special guests to talk all things spring ball just a few days before the game. And other than that, thank you all for being here. Spaz, you have a great night, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quack.
Quack.